So in this video, we're going to talk about the antipsychotic medication. Specifically, we're going to talk about the atypical antipsychotic. But let's take a look at like how many classes do we have for antipsychotic medications. Conventional and atypical antipsychotic. Conventional antipsychotics are old drugs. They were researched and invented about like quite a few years ago, while the antipsychotic medication, atypical antipsychotics, are newer drug to treat the psychosis. And psychosis means these drugs are mostly used to treat schizophrenia. And there are two different parts in the conventional antipsychotic as well, which is the phenothiazine and non-phenothiazine. Let's take a look at about the atypical antipsychotic medications. So, mechanism of action. Mechanism of action of these drugs is really unclear. There are multiple neurotransmitters this medication works on. One of them is dopamine, second is serotonin, and adrenergic receptors in the brain. So this medication will block dopamine, serotonin, and adrenergic receptors in the brain. And this drug helps in treating both positive and negative symptoms of schizophrenia. While we looked at the different types of antipsychotic medication like conventional and atypical, conventional antipsychotic are mostly used to treat positive symptoms of the schizophrenia, while these medications are used for positive and negative both. Now, one of the things to remember when we take a look at the side effects of this psychotic medication is dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter in the brain that works with the balance, muscle movements, and muscle coordination. Dopamine in the brain will coordinate all these muscle movements in our body. If there is a deficit of dopamine in our body, or in our brain, then it will cause the incoordination. Our brain will not be able to think and coordinate all the muscle movements if there is a deficiency of dopamine. Now, this drug will block the dopamine, so you will see some side effects, like for the muscle coordination problems, gait problems, etc., etc. We'll talk about that in slides. But just the main thing to remember about the dopamine, it helps in muscle coordination and movements. So, side effect of this medication is tachycardia. Now, this medication also blocks the adrenergic, so it will produce the effect like cholinergic, etc., etc., and it will also blocks some of the cholinergic receptors, so it will cause the anticholinergic side effects as well. But tachycardia is the main one, sedation, dizziness. We'll talk about this neuroleptic malignant syndrome and extrapyramidal side effects in the next slides. It will increase the risk of CVA. It can cause the weight gain and obesity. It can cause diabetes. It can increase the triglyceride. Can cause the osteoporosis. And one of the main side effects that people usually stop using this medication is decreased libido and menstrual disorder due to the increased prolactin level. So this is the side effect, unwanted side effects, and many people, young people, which will stop using these medications due to this one of the main side effects. And can cause diabetes mellitus too, since this medication increases the resistance of insulin, and medication affects the glucose metabolism. Now, their main two side effects we really need to know about this medication is neuroleptic malignant syndrome and extrapyramidal side effects. And these side effects are often tested on the NCLEX as well. Let's take a look. Neuroleptic malignant syndrome, which is really rare in this particular class of drugs. In atypical antipsychotic, this is very common. You'll see in conventional antipsychotic. But still, we need to know these are really severe side effects. Neuroleptic malignant syndrome, signs and symptoms are confusion, fever, muscle rigidity, high serum creatinine level, and this one could be really fatal. So you need to teach patients who are on this medication, if they see these side effects, call their doctor immediately. There's some extrapyramidal symptoms as well. Now, extrapyramidal symptoms are caused by due to the blockage of dopamine receptors or dopamine neurotransmitter in the brain. As we talked, like dopamine is really important in the coordination and muscle movements. So these extrapyramidal symptoms are caused by blockage of dopamine neurotransmitter in the brain. The first one includes acute dystonia, which is spasms of back muscles, tongues, and facial muscle. Akathisia, which is inability to rest and relax. They'll be doing repetitively movements like with their hands, their feet, or some kind of movements, and they cannot rest or relax. This is Parkinsonian, includes tremor, shuffling gait, and muscle rigidity, which is same as the Parkinson disease. Because if you remember the pathophysiology of Parkinson is caused by decreased level of dopamine. Now, this medication blocks the dopamine neurotransmitter in our brain, so basically makes more prone to cause Parkinson symptoms, which is tremor, shuffling gait, and muscle rigidity. There's three of them. The last one is tardive dyskinesia, which is unusual tongue or facial movements such as lip smacking, puffing of cheeks, chewing repetitively. So some kind of tongue and facial movements they'll be doing repetitively. And I usually find hard to distinguish between this tardive dyskinesia and akathisia, because akathisia is also inability to rest or relax, which could be lip smacking, could be tardive dyskinesia. So this is really hard to differentiate and really often examined on NCLEX, unfortunately. But you really need to remember, if it is the lip or facial, do the tardive dyskinesia, and the rest of them is if they're doing repetitive movement with hand, legs, something like that, then go with the akathisia. Okay. Some of the examples of this medication is risperidone, quetiapine, olanzapine, clozapine, aripiprazole, ziprasidone, and paliperidone. So this is about the atypical antipsychotic medication. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching another nursing.com lesson. Click the link below in the description to watch thousands more lessons over on nursing.com. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe and the little bell to make sure you're reminded when new lessons come out. And if you want to just keep watching more lessons, go ahead and click this video over here to continue learning. Like we always say here at nursing.com, happy nursing.